Hi, Julianne Stevenson, hashtag the Brainy Medic with sterling credentials. Today, I am here to advise students how to be successful. And my first piece of advice is don't read the book. All right, so stick with me. I'm going to give you some non-traditional advice on how to manage a large volume of material. The first one is you must stay engaged with your material at all times. It's not like you go to class, you plug in, you do some stuff, and then you unplug and you leave and you don't think about it again until, you got to get the homework done. That's not how it works. All right. The first thing is, if you want to be prepared to provide excellent patient care, you don't want to be in a position where somebody hands you their limp baby and you don't know what to do. So what I used to do is when I was in the grocery store, I would think to myself, all right, that guy over there sniffing the cantaloupes, if he suddenly falls on the ground, what should I do? This is one in the shower. I got soap in my hair. GCS. And I couldn't come up with it. What this does is it stimulates your curiosity and it's a motivator for seeking the information. When you find the information, you are more likely to retain it on first pass because you had that question, because you had that curiosity. That is the purpose of constantly thinking about your material, is to generate those little questions that you got to go and get answered because you don't know it. Number 2, you need to be honest with yourself. If you are not prepared to a level that you could begin to teach your material to a layperson, then you are not ready for the test. Period. This isn't about memorizing noise, just facts that don't link together or have any meaning. It's about the whole picture. And so in medicine, you'll often hear see one, do one, teach one. And that's the process of building the skill, either whether it's a physical skill or critical thinking or knowledge or what have you. That's the process. So as you're preparing and as you're working on things, you need to be very clear with yourself about where you are in the process. Now, how are some ways to stay plugged in and stay engaged? Well, I've already given you one example, which is fake scenarios in your head. I'll go back to my first piece of advice, which is do not read the book. Okay, let me clarify and expand on that. I don't want you to sit down and go, I'm going to read chapter 9. That's not it. All right. What you need to do, and very frankly, I have a master's degree and I don't think I ever read a chapter front to back in that way. What you need to do is, again, try to link back to curiosity and motivation. And the way you do that is you use the objectives that the author wrote at the front of the chapter, because that tells you the purpose of each and every section of the chapter. So if you read the objective, and a lot of books, it tells you the exact pages that the information's on, then you can form a question around that objective, and then you can go to the pages and read about that objective. You read the whole chapter that way, the seek and find way, then your brain won't wander off into space and you can actually absorb the information. That's the thing with reading, is like driving. You can do it on autopilot and you don't know what you read. Everybody complains about this. So you need to use techniques that keep you engaged. So the seek and find method with the objectives. Of course, there's a workbook. Of course, at the end of the chapter, there's some kind of summary or review. And in fact, a lot of times I'll suggest that students actually read that first and then go back and work the objectives, because that gives you a nice tight overview and it's not thorough. So it stimulates a lot of questions, which again will help you retain these things on first pass. A lot of times workbooks are at a lower level of knowledge than you really have to be effective. So if you're not familiar with Bloom's Taxonomy of learning, look it up, because the very first level of acquisition is just kind of learning, for example, the alphabet. Okay, you learn what the letters are called. Okay, then you're able to convey that message back to somebody else in your own words about what each letter is called. at the level that you need to be at to be an effective caregiver, you have to be able to analyze. You have to know why you do what you do. It's not good enough to know that cyanosis means hypoxia. You need to understand that that should stimulate in you a treatment, like, I don't know, oxygen. So these are some methods that you can use to try to stay more engaged with your material, to get deeper into your material. That seems to be one of the biggest mistakes that students make, is not going deep enough. Why? Why? Everything you read, why? Your instructor will love it when you go up to them and say, I got another question. They will love it because it shows that you care. And at the end of the day, isn't that what a caregiver does? Have a fantastic day and come back and see me next time.